What if one day every human on Earth simply vanished? No warning, no goodbye, just silence. Skyscrapers standing tall but empty, highways stretching endlessly with not a single car, and cities reclaimed by wind, rain, and creeping vines. It's a haunting thought, but also a fascinating one. Without us, what would happen to the world we've spent centuries building? Would it collapse into chaos, or would nature find a way to thrive again? In this journey through time, we explore what Earth would look like in a world without humans, a world where nature gets a second chance. Throughout history, humanity has dramatically shaped the face of the Earth. Cities have risen, forests have fallen, and landscapes have been carved to suit the needs of civilization. But what if, in an instant, every human vanished from the planet? What would Earth become in our absence? Would it crumble into chaos, or would it flourish without us? The answer lies in the timeline of nature's slow but steady reclaiming of the world we built. In the days and weeks following the sudden disappearance of humans, silence would settle over cities once filled with noise. Without people to operate power stations, electricity grids would begin to fail within hours. Lights would go dark, subways would halt, and the internet would vanish. Pets and livestock would face an uncertain fate. Many would die without care, while some might adapt to the wild. Urban wildlife, such as rats, raccoons, and pigeons, would thrive initially, taking advantage of leftover food and shelter. Without human control, nuclear power plants would automatically shut down. However, some could eventually leak radiation if their cooling systems fail, leading to localized environmental hazards, though nothing as globally catastrophic as human-induced climate change. Within a decade, the built environment would begin to collapse. Without regular maintenance, streets would crack under the pressure of growing plant roots. Vines would scale buildings, and forests would creep into suburbs. Rivers would overflow and reclaim channels once controlled by dams and levees. Skyscrapers and bridges, weakened by rust and erosion, would start to crumble. Animals would explore new frontiers. Wolves, bears, elephants, and other large mammals could return to regions where they had been long absent. Domesticated species like dogs and cats would either adapt to life in the wild or be outcompeted by more resilient native species. As centuries pass, Earth's ecosystems would begin to recover in a more significant way. Forests would cover large portions of what were once farmland and suburbs. Coral reefs, currently suffering from bleaching and pollution, might slowly regenerate. The oceans, free from plastic waste and overfishing, could become rich with marine life once again. The atmosphere would gradually cleanse itself. Carbon dioxide levels would drop without the constant emission from factories and vehicles. The ozone layer, already showing signs of healing due to reduced emissions, would continue its restoration. Weather patterns, while altered by the previous century of warming, might begin to stabilize. Remnants of humanity, steel, concrete, glass, and plastic would endure, but only temporarily. Plastic may persist for thousands of years, but natural processes would eventually break it down. Monuments like the pyramids or Mount Rushmore may remain for millennia, standing as eerie markers of a vanished civilization. In 1,000 years or more, Earth would look vastly different. Biodiversity would likely be higher than it is today, as many endangered species would have rebounded without hunting, habitat destruction, or pollution. New species would evolve to replace those we lost. The natural world would thrive, ecosystems would balance themselves, and the scars left by humans would slowly fade into the background of a green, wild planet. Ironically, the absence of humans might be the best thing that ever happened to the environment. While we consider ourselves stewards of the Earth, our impact has often been destructive. Without us, the planet would not die, it would heal. The Earth without humans would not be a barren wasteland, but a thriving wilderness, slowly recovering from centuries of exploitation. Cities would become forests, highways would be overgrown trails, and animals would roam freely where concrete once ruled. It is a haunting yet beautiful image, one that reminds us of the power of nature to restore itself and the importance of living in balance with the planet we call home. So, what do you think? Would the Earth truly be better off without us? Can we learn from this vision of a post-human world and change the way we live today? What responsibility do we have to preserve this planet, not just for ourselves, but for every living thing that shares it? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video thought-provoking, give it a like, share it with someone who needs to see it, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this one. Your support keeps this channel going, and if you'd like to help even more, consider donating to the channel. Every bit goes toward creating better, deeper content for you. And remember, the future of Earth is still in our hands. Thanks for watching.